Chapter 20, Heading for a New Dimension. Soon, Sartre felt that a large number of souls were passed from Void Mark. After a while, enough souls were gathered, and there were even a lot of excess. Looks like most still used dim sum. There are 3 planes to choose from this time. Sartre thought about it. Decide to come in order. Directly exchange the plane coordinates of the crew plane. Using the Lord Mark to sense, this is still a plane that has not been invaded by the Void. This time, the will of the Void still gave the reward of sacrificing coordinates, but this time there was no Void teleportation. Sartre ignored the other rewards given by the will of the Void. After all, those rewards were not worth mentioning for a complete plane. This time, if Sartre wants to invade, he needs to use the coordinates to build a Void portal, teleport himself there, and then build a Void portal there as well. In this way, a large number of troops can be sent to invade. This is the normal plane invasion process. The previous plane of the sky was teleported for free because of the will of the Void. And Sartre has no strength and no resources. There is no need to establish a Void portal. Sartre's wilderness plane does not have a Void portal. However, he now has 3 planes including Most's plane, and the resources for building 2 Void portals are still available. Plane invasion requires different countermeasures according to different situations. In the planes of the Void Lords who have experienced countless plane invasions, there are almost all buildings specializing in dealing with a variety of different planes. For example, invading some elemental planes requires a summoning gate. You use the summoning gate to add plane coordinates. First summon a creature from the element plane, and then control it. After the summoned creature returns to the plane, use it as a marker to force teleportation to descend. Of course, those summoned by ordinary elemental summoning techniques are useless. Because the elemental creatures summoned by ordinary summoning techniques will all be concerned by the plane will of the element plane, when the summoning ends. The summoned objects will be cleaned up and cannot be marked at all. However, the summoning of the gate of summoning, with the coordinates of the plane is equivalent to smuggling, and the will of the plane cannot be detected at all. The element plane is too repulsive, and it is impossible to enter from the outside world. The void power invested by the plane channel is either repelled or assimilated, and can only be invaded by this method. Of course, there is generally a large amount of elemental essence inside the element plane. So even if the elemental plane is difficult to invade, it cannot stop the greedy void lords. Not to mention this time the plane invaded, Sartre planned to bring Most and Tessis together. Because of the existence of the void mark, Most and Tessis could not betray. Therefore, Sartre can safely let them participate. Of course, it is impossible to tell them about the existence of the plane cube. Even if they will not betray, it is hard to guarantee that they will leak their mouths. Sartre began to send him a message, asking them to come directly through the gate of the plane. Soon, all of Sartre's subordinates arrived. The 3rd level Tessis, the 4th level Fenrir, and the 5th level Most. Sartre sat on the main seat of the Lord's Hall, and the other 3 people stood below, waiting for Sartre's order. At present, my subordinates are only the 3 of you. Let's get to know each other. Speaking of which, none of Sartre's 3 subordinates resembled a human form. Most has the head of a horse and has wings. Fenrir is a wolf. Tessis is a deer with the head of a tiger. Of the 3 people below, only Tessis and Most do not know each other. As soon as Most saw Tessis, from the divine power radiating from his body, he knew that he should be Sartre's agent on the plane of the gods. Similarly, Tessis was also a little frightened by Most's strength. He didn't expect his master to have a subordinate who surpassed the strength of the God King in such a short time. Most nodded to Tessis. My name is Most. Most's attitude was very cold, but Tessis felt it was normal. After all, the strength gap is here, and Most was willing to nod to him, but he was a little flattered. Tessis bowed his head towards Most and said respectfully, "Hello, my lord, I'm Tessis." Most's attitude, Sartre also felt normal. Don't look at the dog-legged image that Most often has towards Sartre. But for the weak, he disdains too many words. In his eyes, other people are only divided into 2 types, the strong and the food. Don't think so much, Sartre told the 3 of his goals. Most was shocked when he heard the news. How long has it been since then? Are the current plane coordinates so easy to find? This has found a new plane. Fenrir is happy and can start the war again. During this time, he has been idle all day, and he has long been unable to resist the desire to kill. The weakest, Tessis, was participating in the plane invasion for the first time. He was a little excited and a little overwhelmed, not to mention the reactions of the 3. Next, Sartre started the assignment of tasks. First of all, Most and Tessis were responsible for raising the materials for the 2 void portals. Both of them have the control of a plane, and they are not like Sartre who has slaughtered the internal creatures. Naturally, a bunch of people can be found to help them find materials throughout the plane. With the plane authority, the 2 can easily find the existence of various materials on the plane. Soon, the materials were gathered. The construction started soon, and the builders were all selected from the believers of Tessis. All of them are mad believers and can give everything for Tessis. When they heard Tessis' request, they started to build the void portal with a frenzy on their faces. Everything is ready. This time, the candidate for the attack, Sartre, intends to bring Fenrir and Most. Tessis stayed in the wilderness plane as logistics, and was responsible for recruiting troops to replenish troops at any time. It's not that Sartre doesn't want to take Tessis, but his strength is too low, and Sartre really needs a backup. Tessis also understands that his strength is not enough, so he is not unhappy. Sartre took out the plane crystal and started to activate the portal. Sartre's troops here are mainly level 6 strength. Huanggang Yu Giant Spirit. There is no level 6 Earth Elemental Essence. Yu reading www.ukanshu.com only recruits Sich 1. Level 5 Strength. Satyr and Most. Level 4 Strength. 1 Great Swordsman, 10 Snakemen, from Most. Level 3 Strength. 60 Wild *** Wolves and 15 Level 3 Arms that surrendered before. 200 Centaurs, from Most. The other first and second level arms add up to nearly 3,000, most of them are from Most, so I won't go into details. With this strength, Satra feels that he can crush most of the secondary planes. Finally, the portal opened. Satra put away another void portal and stepped into the portal. The plane of Crew, the world of demons. In a remote and dark place, space began to wriggle. Satra, who looked like a young man with 2 horns on his head, appeared here. It was pitch black all around, but this darkness did not affect Satra's vision. Satra found himself in what appeared to be an underground chamber somewhere. In the center of the secret room was a void altar covered with red and black blood scabs and filled with a strong *** smell. This should be the experience of countless sacrifices. It is actually quite normal for the void altar to appear here. There are many void lords who deliberately spread some objects containing void knowledge into the universe. Just hope it will drop to some life plane someday. Once someone learns the knowledge within, sacrifice to them. These void lords can obtain the coordinates of this plane and start their invasion. It seems that his plane coordinates come from this void altar. It seems that someone hopes to summon a void lord through blood sacrifice. However, it should be unsuccessful. It is possible that the lord who spread the knowledge of the void has died. Then the plane coordinates were captured by the plane cube.